Hey everybody, we are back from our flight trip, and our flight trip this time was in Oregon, which was our first ever Oregon trip. I think people are open to going back. It was really cool. Ava didn't get to get out as much as I was hoping. To be honest with you guys, I was very focused on making a lot of YouTube videos. I have been focused in the past on these flight trips of doing a lot of photography stuff for promotional stuff like our backpacks and all that. And this trip, I just wanted to focus on not only like making Instagram reels, and I'm now on TikTok, not dancing, but also I just really wanted to focus on YouTube videos and stories and sharing returning flyers coming back. And so Ava didn't get out as much because of that, but also because it was very windy and Ava was not digging this intensity of wind. So it was really interesting. Some of the things that would happen would be I would ask her for a flight. She didn't want to do it. And then I would give my attention to Tusa, who would want to do a flight. And then she would want to do a flight. And so it was a little bit of a confusing trip this time around. She was almost more interested in flying to me when I wasn't paying attention to her than when I was. So I'm going to show you what this looked like. I had a new focus this time. You guys have seen my struggles in the past with Jinx. I decided to work on, actually it was suggestions from you guys. You guys were asking, how does she get along with Comment Tusa? So I decided to focus on those relationships, and I think I'm going to continue to focus on her relationship mainly with Tusa, but probably with both, and just kind of see. So I'm going to share that with you guys on this trip. So let me walk you through what happened.
Ava! You not want to do it while Tusa's there? Ava! Love you.
So the first location we stayed at was at the Alvord Desert in Oregon, and this is where we were really focused on getting a new student out and flying and getting the entire flock of returning students out. We had about 3 new flyers, which was very exciting, 2 baby blue throats and 1 sulfur-crested cockatoo, lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo. And so I really just focused on flying my birds before and after students were there, or I flew them at the bunkers, which was pretty fun. So Ava didn't get out too much, but then we went to the second location that our photographer Rachel found, and I felt like just doing some really simple A to B work with Ava and Tusa to see how they would get along, and then I slowly incorporated Comet, who ruined the whole thing, which was a total bummer.
Oh, finding a place to stay and stuff. Oh, my mom was like, look at that.
Yeah.
He's like, you're weird. I don't want to be next to Psycho.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Let's go take a photo of it. We've heard it 6 times.
Yeah, he said thank you.
Yeah. Well, that and he knows how to use it.
Hey, this way.
The vegetables are
You dummy.
a little too long. You know, the vegetables are like,
He doesn't know what's involved. Can I get the drone overhead and have everybody do a launch?
That sounds cool.
Okay.
I don't know how that'll do for rocket. Okay, I think it'll be in doubt. Okay.
he didn't really seem bothered yesterday.
Okay. I'm gonna.
The one that had the reaction, but kept them out, so I did the nails.
Okay. I'll send it up a little bit then. But I didn't understand what you're trying to figure out.
I'm trying to get these 3 to be okay.
It was like.
He was excited.
Picky.
That would be that would be my goal.
Comment just look. Just.
Okay.
But after this is really nice.
Hey, cutie.
Hey, this is a nice bird. You should be a nice bird.
He's just like. He's like, now that you're gone.
Another.
Do you need my input on this?
Yeah, I want you to call Tusa.
Oh, Tusa.
Mom, I thought you were gonna.
Oh, okay. That sounds like I was quite good.
Deuce. Why are you flying like that?
Yeah, we should.
Music live.
Put things around.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need to do this.
That's not what I wanted.
Whoa.
Didn't call you. Watch the tail. Doesn't even care.
Like putting a harness on and off, and and I was like, hold still. The bus is gone. Okay. He bites really hard. Yeah. He's just
nice.
I never go near that. Actually, and then when I did, I never
Good.
bites on my hand.
You too, you were good.
Like getting bites on my hand. Didn't like it. I would. But like, yeah. Okay. I'm like, feel over that. That was my thought. She'd never had an issue warm up class because we could have a better flight day. So I was like, okay, let's do that.
Hey!
Oh boy.
No, he was nice. He was nice.
Okay, I'm working on this like one kind of a handshake.
Hey,
1 foot, and we're
you were the problem.
and so I was like, here, I'll
He didn't do it. It was his brother that did it.
put her foot on me, and then she just went at my finger. I was like, whoa! I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that.
That sounds like Momo.
He doesn't really Momo at all. So like when I do,
You're a punk ass.
What do you want?
So obviously I got upset. I resorted to name calling, comment. I was upset because, as you guys know, it's felt like a while since I've had a win with this situation. I finally felt like I was having win after win after win with this particular situation and really changing the focus from Jinx to Ava. And that was really helping me. But Ava wasn't like her normal self as far as she was so good and so conditioned in Arizona at that flight trip. And then this flight trip, she just wasn't feeling it as much. She was really hesitant on everything. It just felt different. And so I felt like I was battling that a little bit. But then I felt like I was having a win with Tusa and her, and even Comet to a certain extent. Even though he was lungy, I thought I had the distance good because I knew he couldn't like lean over and grab her. I never anticipated a tail length away though, and it just changed because of how I was putting her on the perch. She did have to turn and he could reach her tail, and I didn't think about that or consider it, so that was a bummer. Not enough foresight in setting that situation up to be more successful. I think I should have kept the distance further. Or put her on the perch differently so that that couldn't happen. I know you're going for it. You're going for my drawstrings. I know what you want to do. There's plastic on the end of them. Can't have it. So I decided to continue with the training session. I have Comet way far away. He's no longer part of this. He's been expelled from this training session. So I'm working with Tusa and Ava. And previously you saw Dave recall Tusa, I was recalling Ava. This time, since Dave's flying the drone, I decide to recall train them both. Now, Tusa has flown with our drone before. He knows that it's no big deal. Ava, not so much. She's a little bit more unsure. So I'm using Tusa to really show her that, hey, you are not in danger. You can still fly with this. And Tusa's just kind of being my trainer bird, so to speak. And I'm working with both of them. One of the things that you saw earlier in this video was Dave trying to do this on the desert, and Ava didn't want to land on him if he was holding Tusa. This is something that I'm intentionally working on here. I want Ava to be willing to land on me even if I'm holding another macaw. So that is kind of my premise here. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm working towards, and I'm pretty happy with how I salvaged the training session.
I don't know what it was.
But I want her, but I don't want to work for her.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Something else in the sky.
All the birds got really quiet.
No, I know, it's the same.
All of them. They're all frozen.
If I brought out a towel, he would just put his head on the floor and I'd put the towel over his head, and then I could scoop him up and put him back in his cage until when I knew he was frustrated, I would just take his face away. I'm not in the cage, I'm just going to get gently carry her and release him.
All right, you guys want to get ready to launch?
Hey!
Where do you want to? What's you guys want to launch off that side or like?
Wind-wise, it's better to go that way.
Okay.
I think I'll send Cressy.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when we're by, like.
So then from the desert and from this cool spot of Rachel's, we go onward and we head over to the Christmas dunes. And I worked a little bit more with Tusa and Ava, just specifically just doing A to B's and more just basic recall stuff of getting them used to training in each other's presence. I'm gonna work Ava and Tusa a bit.
There you go.
Can you turn around?
Ah.
Wanna come? You do it? Come on, Ava. Come on. I know it's weird to take off from that table. Tusa's quick, you gotta go. See how fast he is? Good job. Let me put you on the table instead.
Oh, totally. I just more so like smaller birds, but
Eva, you better on there?
footage, we can't use it. We can't
Come
stop
on.
dog it.
Come on.
But
Come on.
if it was
You need to just work with you.
for me and not the YouTube audience, I'd say leave her out.
Come on. Eva. Let's work the other way. So as you guys could see, that wasn't super successful. I think for a variety of reasons. We had a lot more wind at play on this trip, and Ava just didn't seem into it at all. So she started with less enthusiasm than normal, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. At the dunes, the winds shift constantly, so you always have to be aware of them and ask the birds for correct flights into the wind, and this had happened. So when I first set up, you guys saw me asking one direction, then I realized the wind shifted, so I asked the other direction. There's also the dynamic of having my camera set up right in the trailer, so all the birds can see us, including Jinx and Comet, and it's just a funky dynamic because they're definitely moving around, they're definitely getting a little bit heightened watching. It's a funky energy sort of thing, but I also didn't want to fly Ava too far away. So that was pretty much her only flights to the dunes. She was just not digging it. We had a sandstorm one of the days, like the winds were no joke, so we just called it at that, and we eventually moved from the dunes to a beautiful place called the Painted Hills. So for those of you that don't know about the painted hills, they are natural and they're just different layers and they're so, so beautiful. You're not allowed to walk onto the painted hills. I think wildlife does because we definitely saw some tracks in it, but definitely no humans are allowed to. It's all fenced off with barbed wire. It's a beautiful place and they want to keep it that way, so there's absolutely no straying from where we were at the very top where we flew our birds. So we consider this type of location a level 5 because it's unrecoverable. So even if your bird just landed on one of the painted hills right there in sight, you cannot physically go get the bird. The bird has to 100% come back to you. So these types of locations where it is deemed unrecoverable because you can't go there and the bird has to come back, we only fly the best of the best for birds. And so Ava did not get to come out at the Painted Hills. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was some of the flyers' favorite locations. I'm very glad that we went and checked it out. I had no idea about this overlook, which is like the first thing that you see when you come into the park. I only knew about the boardwalk, which we didn't fly her at the boardwalk either, but it was a really beautiful place to check out, and it was the last location on our list. So that's all that Ava really got to do on this flight trip, and that's kind of all the progress that we were able to make, which I'm not bummed about. I know that I stretched myself pretty thin doing so much, and I'm really excited for you guys to see all the free flight videos that came from that trip, but it just wasn't quite built for Ava. So we'll see how she does next time, and I have been working with her actually here at the house. So next video I will share with you guys how it's been going since we got home.